Once upon a time, there was a young man who was afraid of everything. He was afraid of the dark, he was afraid of heights, and he was even afraid of his own shadow. One day, the young man decided that he had had enough of being afraid. He wanted to be fearless, so he set out to find a Zen master who could teach him how to do it. The young man traveled far and wide, and finally he came to a mountain where a Zen master lived. The young man knocked on the door of the Zen master's hut, and the Zen master invited him in. "I want to be fearless," the young man said. "Can you teach me how to do it?" The Zen master smiled. "Of course I can teach you how to be fearless," he said. "But first, you must tell me what you are afraid of." The young man took a deep breath. "I'm afraid of everything," he said. "I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of heights. And I'm even afraid of my own shadow." The Zen master nodded. "I see," he said. "Well, the first step to being fearless is to understand your fear. What is it about the dark that you are afraid of?" "I'm afraid of what might be lurking in the darkness," the young man said. "And what is it about heights that you are afraid of?" the Zen master asked. "I'm afraid of falling," the young man said. "And what is it about your own shadow that you are afraid of?" the Zen master asked. "I'm afraid of what it represents," the young man said. "I'm afraid of the darkness inside of me." The Zen master nodded again. "Now that you understand your fear, you can begin to overcome it," he said. "The first step is to face your fear head-on. If you are afraid of the dark, go into a dark room and sit there for a while. If you are afraid of heights, go to the top of a tall building and look down. And if you are afraid of your own shadow, stand in front of a mirror and look at yourself." The young man was scared, but he knew that the Zen master was right. He had to face his fear if he wanted to overcome it. So he went into a dark room and sat there for a while. He was scared at first, but after a while he started to relax. He realized that there was nothing to be afraid of. Then, the young man went to the top of a tall building and looked down. He was scared again, but he forced himself to look. He saw the ground far below, but he didn't fall. He realized that he was stronger than he thought. Finally, the young man stood in front of a mirror and looked at himself. He was scared at first, but then he saw the darkness inside of him. He saw the fear, but he also saw the strength. He realized that he was not his fear. He was stronger than his fear. The young man returned to the Zen master and told him what he had done. The Zen master smiled. "You have done well," he said. "You have faced your fear and overcome it. You are now fearless." The young man was happy. He had finally overcome his fear. He was now free to live his life without fear. The Zen master's story is a reminder that we can all overcome our fears. All we have to do is face them head on. When we do, we will find that we are stronger than we thought.